The rain was relentless that Thursday afternoon. Each drop hit the cracked windshield like a ticking clock, reminding Jake he was late, again. He wiped his greasy hands on a rag and rushed to pick up his son, Max, from school. The tiny auto shop he worked at barely paid enough to survive, and every hour counted. As he turned the corner, he saw her, a woman in a red coat standing next to a cherry-red '68 Mustang that refused to start. He almost drove past her. Almost. But something made him stop. She wasn't waving him down. In fact, she looked too proud to ask for help. But Jake saw it, beneath the polished exterior and flawless makeup, something deeper. A flicker of frustration and vulnerability. He stepped out into the rain, walked over, and said, "Looks like she's giving you trouble." The woman turned, eyes narrowing at first. "She just died on me. Out of nowhere." Jake smiled. Classic Mustang. Temperamental beauty. "Mind if I take a look?" She paused, then nodded. "Go ahead." Jake popped the hood, letting the steam rise as he crouched beside the engine. It took only minutes to see what was wrong, a loose ignition coil, something simple yet annoying. As he worked, he noticed her watching him carefully, almost studying his every move. When he finally turned the key and the engine roared to life, she smiled, genuinely. "I owe you one," she said. "Seriously?" He chuckled. "Just doing my part. Name's Jake." She extended her hand. "Kate." Jake didn't think much of it after that. He got back in his beat-up pickup and raced to the school, heart pounding. Max was the last kid waiting, sitting on the curb with his little backpack, wet from the rain. "Sorry, buddy," Jake whispered, picking him up. "It's okay, Daddy," Max replied, hugging him tightly. "I knew you'd come." Those words cut deep. Jake was a single dad trying to do it all, fix cars, pay rent, and be both parents to a boy who barely remembered his mom. Every day felt like survival. He skipped meals to feed Max, turned down repair jobs if they clashed with school pickup, and fell asleep every night thinking of how to give his son a better life. 2 days later, Kate showed up at the shop. Jake blinked in surprise. She wore jeans and a plain shirt this time, no luxury car or designer accessories in sight. "You said you do repairs," she said casually. "Mind taking a look at my friend's car too?" He nodded, unsure what this was about, but agreed. Over the next few weeks, Kate kept showing up with cars, hers, friends, relatives. Jake never asked questions, but he noticed things, how she always paid in cash, tipped generously, and asked about Max. One evening, after he closed the shop, she waited outside. "Jake, can I take you and Max out for dinner?" He hesitated. "Why?" "Because I see something in you," she said, her eyes steady. "And I don't think anyone's seen you in a long time." That night at a small diner, Jake opened up. He told her about the accident that took his wife, about raising Max alone, about losing his dreams of opening his own garage. Kate listened, really listened. When Max fell asleep in the booth, she leaned forward and whispered, "Do you trust me?" Jake laughed softly. "That depends. I want to show you something. Tomorrow. Just take the day off." He didn't know why he said yes. Maybe because she was the first person who didn't treat him like a broken man. The next day, Kate drove them outside the city to a sleek, modern building surrounded by green hills. Jake followed her in, confused. Inside, the space opened into a vast showroom filled with futuristic-looking cars. "This is mine," she said quietly. "All of it." Jake stared. "What do you mean, yours?" She smiled. "I own Crescent Motors. Electric vehicle startup. We're about to go public next year. Worth over $1 billion. Jake blinked. Why bring me here?" Kate's eyes softened. Because I was once where you are. Alone. Struggling. Someone believed in me, gave me a chance. And now, I want to do the same for you. In the weeks that followed, Kate offered him a position, head mechanic for her vintage restoration division. More than that, she gave him freedom, resources, and support. She helped him get Max into a better school. She introduced him to a world where people didn't just take, they gave. But it wasn't about money. It was the little things. It was Max smiling more. It was Jake finally breathing without fear. One night, as they stood outside the garage she helped him build, a place with his name on the sign, Jake turned to her. I don't know how to thank you. Kate looked at him and said, you already did. That day in the rain. He laughed, wiping his eyes. That was just a favor. No, Jake, she said. It was kindness. And kindness is where empires begin. You never know who's watching when you choose to help someone. A simple act of kindness can change a life, and sometimes, it echoes far beyond what you can imagine. Jake didn't save her because she was rich. He didn't even know. He helped because it was right. And in doing so, he opened a door that would change his life forever. Always lead with kindness. The world has a strange way of rewarding it when you least expect it.